The war had finally ended. Kingdoms now lay in ruins. Cults worshipping demons and dragons have risen from the ashes. Now life is returning to the Misty Vale, a hidden mountain valley, which was until recently overrun by the forces of the war. In recent years, the land has opened for explorers, settlers and adventurers of all kin, such as humans, dwarves, elves, halflings, mallards, and wolfkin. The land needs heroes, ones who can inspire, protect, and negotiate. What they got are these three idiots.
For many an adventurer, it is the guild, and not the dungeon, that is the most important location. Many offer services beyond the simple act of securing adventurous jobs. Many have training grounds, so many hopefuls march off with enthusiasm, only never to be seen again. It was obvious that a training field was needed. But it is also vital for learning new abilities, as it requires someone with the skill to be able to teach you. Information is power, and guilds are always looking to add books or add to their own written volumes in the guild libraries. Many guilds also offer services. Medical is in demand, lodging, but also a place to buy and sell equipment. Because of this, it is not uncommon to find guild halls to be of elaborate designs. They wish to push the idea of success, so adventurers and common folk alike have faith in them. This particular hall is known as the Crescent of Lost Souls, and is in the region's largest city. The hall is of carved stone and accented with ornate wooden finishes. A large circular stained glass window features a cleric saving the souls of the lost. Large halls like this one will have a leader, council, and support staff. Small halls may only have one member. Large halls also attract not just adventurers, but heroes. And the Crest of Lost Souls has 4 notable heroes. A realm moonstone, an elvish sorceress, who has been in charge for more than 150 years. She has denied fighting in the war that shaped the realm, but the rumours persist. As beautiful as she is dangerous, she has not adventured for many years, however. Rue, a lizard-born fighter who has taken on some of the guild's most dangerous quests and survived. Tirani Willowbark, a quiet half-elf druid who often gives her time to the guild to heal those injured, or to make potions. And Kaito, the most well-known rogue in the region, but not often seen. From time to time, a party comes through led by a fighter in grimy armour and cheap equipment, who only takes goblin quests, as well as a small party where their mage only casts explosive magic, and their leader often steals ladies' undergarment, a situation he swears is totally accidental. And then there is you, recently signed to the Adventuring Guild. As new novices to the guild, you have received a small ceramic pin with the symbol upon the guild on it.
So when you first notice Esme, you see a figure just off the staff area. The door is open, and this figure is being pushed out of a room. A hand on her face, pushing her out, and saying something that isn't audible over all the din in the guild hall. The figure is short, wearing a dark blue long coat with a very deep hood, through which 2 ears poke. And you can hear her protesting. Is this the assignment then? Like I'm supposed to do this, the census? Is that? And then the door shuts. She turns around. At first glance, Esme's most noticeable feature as a cat person are her striking blue and white coloration and her luxurious fur. Wavy sky blue hair spill around her expressive ears and out from underneath her hood. Her tail, just as lush and expressive with its white tip ever in motion, matches the long white fur of her chest, ear tufts, and the very short fur on her face. It's only when you get close that you notice other details, or as she approaches one of your tables. She's kind of talking and muttering to herself, one book in one hand, a messenger bag poking out from underneath the long cloak. I can't believe that they just... Like, why are they tired of my questions? I mean, this is what they're here for. I mean, I'm supposed to be an assistant here. I'm helping the librarian. I'm looking up things all the time. Seems like they're always wanting to try and get rid of me. She's muttering as she goes past the tables looking for a place to sit. It's only when you get closer that you see other details, like her large green eyes and the blue furred facial markings. Her white whiskers are almost unnoticeable unless you're really close. She's dressed in pale pink and light grays, wool vest with golden buttons, matching wool colettes, soft dark red leather boots, and her very deep hooded long coat with its many pockets, several of which she's patting right now, trying to make sure she has all her stuff about her. She's got a notebook in one hand and a large messenger bag that she's digging through with her other hand, looking for a place to sit.
Already sitting at one of the tables is a figure who is perhaps not that notable in and of herself. She is an elf, which is not particularly unusual. She is wearing traveling clothes, which is not particularly unusual, especially in the guild. She seems to be keeping to herself, and the clothes she is wearing, it's a little difficult to tell, honestly, if they are the color that they are, because that is how they started out, or if they are caked in mud and bits of reed. They're the sort of color that it all blends together and it doesn't really matter. What is more notable is probably the large crow that is sitting on her shoulder. And occasionally she is ripping off small pieces of a loaf of bread that she is eating and handing some crumbs of it to the crow. Other than the bird that she is interacting with, she is not really saying anything to anyone.
He wears a large hooded cloak that covers his face. There's many swords and daggers on the table he sits at. And if you look closer, you can seemingly make out a scar across his face.
Looking for a place to sit down, Esme sees the figure with the crow on the shoulder and just kind of stops at the table to stare for a moment. And then moves to sit down, keeping an eye on this fascinating crow feeding event. Excuse me, like, how do you, obviously you take care of it, obviously you feed it, obviously it's trained. That is fascinating. How long have you had your companion? Oh, I'm Esme, by the way.
I see. This bird is not trained.
Really?
Yes.
I'll try and shoo it. Make shooing motions at it. Lean towards it, go shoo, shoo, shoo.
He'll raise his wings and sort of flap them back at you, but not actually leave or do anything like that.
Is it bothering you? Should I get somebody to take care of it for you?
No. This is my friend.
Oh, friend. Okay, cool. Hey, are you an adventurer?
I suppose. Are you?
More support staff, apparently. And I glance back at the door and kind of glare in that direction. I probably should be. I'm better than a lot of the people around here that I've had to interact with. But no, I've been helping the librarian kind of trying to find a better way in. But I don't know. Not having much luck. They gave me a project and I have to go do it, I guess. But. So I don't know. I'm kind of in between. Haven't decided.
Ah. I am a hunter.
Of what?
Of whatever needs to be hunted.
What was the last thing you hunted? She gets out her notebook and gets ready to write something down. You see as she looks for a spare page that it's got a lot of like sketches and notes and various other things, and she's about halfway through it.
You will be disappointed. The last thing? A rabbit.
Oh, was it a fierce rabbit?
It was dinner.
Oh. For yourself?
And Rom.
And sorry, is that another friend of yours?
No, this is Rom.
Oh, hi Rom. She kind of looks at the bird and waves at it, and Jen just kind of sits down for a while, and it looks like she's starting to sketch the bird.
All right. The bird will happily pose. Preen every once in a while. Show off bird.
Within, the hall is almost full of adventurers, and they are chatting and eating and drinking while support staff move back and forth among the tables. A young catfolk female hurries over towards your tables. She moves with an unconfident direction that constantly has her on a collision course with someone or something, but always just at the very last moment with surprising agility, balance, and reflexes manages to avoid catastrophe. Her simple but elegant guild uniform shows she is of low rank. However, there is not a pleat or fold that is out of place. Her fur is a sandy brown and cream white. Her eyes are amber and her ears are constantly twitching and moving. She stops before you and bows. Hello, and welcome to the guild hall. I'm Koro. Is there anything I can do to help you with?
You speak fast.
It's a habit. I'm nervous.
Why?
Big day, busy day. Lots of people. Things get done. Mistakes are made. Mistakes are not good.
Depends on the mistake.
I prefer it when someone else makes them.
Sit, Koro. Take a load off. Looks like you've been busy.
Busy. Guild is busy. Guild is important. I'm calm. I'm very calm. Very calm.
Yes,
Calm.
you seem it.
Busy calm. Important busy calm. Busy calm. Guild.
This is the guild.
And behind her coming over is an elf. And she almost glows. And people are getting out of her way, and they almost don't seem to notice they're doing it. It seems to be almost natural for them not to get into her way. She is stunningly beautiful, wearing a very long flowing gown, which is made of an unusual material that you're not familiar with. If you clients are looking for a quest, then this just came in. Koro bows and takes the sheet and reads it. With the war that split the earth now a memory, the time to reclaim some of what has lost is upon us. The mayor of the Misty Vale has invited the Adventuring Guild to once again open a hall there. The first time such an undertaking has happened for 300 years. To this end, this quest has been posted on behalf of the Adventuring Guild. To oversee the opening of the Misty Vale, we require a party to escort Guild Representative Koro safely to the Misty Vale. Oh, this is perfect for you, Nesco. Wait! Eek! Yes, you have passed your exams and know all the procedures. It is a good opportunity. I think I'm going to be sick. And she bends over and starts to hyperventilate. The elf looks at you. There are opportunities in the wild regions like the Vale, if you have the courage and the wits to seize them. If a catkin could go green, Koro has.
The mission is you.
And Koro, while hyperventilating, raises a hand above her head and is pointing at herself.
I see.
Congratulations, Coral.
And she looks at you with a look of abject horror and panic.
I mean, such a big deal. If you're going to be the head guildmaster there the first time in 300 years, oh my god, you'll be even busier than here.
So many mistakes, so many mistakes, so many mistakes.
Yes, but just think of it. It'll be the first time you'll be able to make those mistakes there. You'll be the first.
You have made no mistakes there. You are not there.
And she's trying to take long, deep breaths, but not exactly succeeding. The elf looks at you. We will provide rations, and there will be, of course, payment. It is an official quest, after all.
Ooh, this could be very interesting then. If it hasn't had a guild hall in that amount of time, there's probably not a lot of adventures and tales and stuff coming out of there. That sounds ripe with opportunity. Coro, do you mind if I come with you?
Oh dear. Need escorts.
Well, I don't know how much of an escort I can be. I mean, I certainly know a lot of things. I could probably help more once we're there. Plus, I have to do a census, apparently, and I glare back over at the door again. Some reports that there are increase in monster activity, I guess. And if that is the case, I'm supposed to go and compare what people have recollected to what's actually happening now to see if there is an increase. I think it's a make-work project, if you ask me.
I will go.
And Koro bows to you. I would say your assessment of there being more monsters in the region could well be accurate. Why they are asking for a guild presence.
Turn to the beautiful elf lady. How far is it from here? Like, how long a travel?
About 10 days. It is one of the frontier towns.
Do you know if there's any other merchants or travelers going out that way?
There are occasionally a few. There is more trade being started from the region. It is still not well travelled, however.
I've only traveled in, like, with other wagons, like caravan-wise. I haven't traveled on my own. Be nicer if we could find a group going, I would think. Oh, by the way, Hunter, I must have missed your name.
Lida.
Lida. Thank you. Let's scroll that down in my notebook.
You write everything.
Of course. You never know when a note will come in handy.
Ah.
Lida, have you been to this place before?
No. To this town? No.
How do you feel about traveling there? Do we need more people?
It is difficult to say. I usually only travel by myself.
What do we have to bring? Do we need like a cart and wagon and tents and cooking pots and barrels of water and...
No. They said rations. That is one thing to bring then. Water we find. A tent? No.
We'll be safe along the road anyways, right?
Probably.
Excellent. I'm all ready then. Carl, I assume that you're like going to be the new guildmaster and everything. You know how all the procurement and stuff works, right? You'll handle all the rations and...
Obtain the rations. And the elf looks at the wolfkin. And you, fair wolf, are you interested in expanding your business into a new area?
I can't say no to that. Not much to contend with out there, I assume.
As far as we know, only a few local businesses providing the necessities for the village.
Esme's craning to get a good look at this individual.
He is a wolfkin. He has pitch black fur. His ears split. He has a giant scar across his cheek. His appearance does not match his voice at all.
How big would you say he is? Like tall?
6 something.
Esme's eyes go a little wide as the wolf wolfkin throws his hood back and kind of sits up straighter and looks as intimidating as he does, but stays silent.
The wolfkin will walk over, seeing as everything has gone dead silent.
Koro bows to you as a group. Paperwork to do. And I need to arrange everything. Oh dear. Is tomorrow morning acceptable for you all? If we leave?
Yes.
That works fine for me.
Very good, very good. Oh dear, oh dear. And she wanders off. The elf smiles and also moves off.
Go spend probably half of my money on getting pampered and glamored all the rest of the day, getting brushed. And just having a nice time.
So you set off the following morning with donkey and cart, I assume?
Yep. I imagine his cart as like the sort of target. Like, it seems like there's no space, but somehow everybody fits inside.
You have rations that were supplied by the guild. You will also receive payment. Koro, for her part, is wearing a variation of the guild uniform, whereas the skirt she has now replaced with loose but tough-looking canvas trousers. The journey itself has not been particularly difficult over the next few days. The larger towns start to get smaller and smaller, and the area far more wilderness. And 6 days into the journey, and you find yourselves on an ancient and narrow pass. A steep, moss-covered cliff stretches upwards where its peaks are lost in the clouds above, and somewhere ahead lies the Misty Vale. Slowly, since the war ended, have settlers returned to the Vale. The old empire as its roads have crumbled. The going is difficult in the Drakmar Pass where you now find yourself. Ahead, slumped over a rock, is a cloaked figure.
Is this the kind of wagon that like two people sit on the, was it the buckboard or whatever up front?
No idea.
It's whatever it needs it to be. It looks small, but somehow you can fit there comfortably. It can hold everybody and everything. It doesn't abide by the rules of space and time.
Lita, do you think that person's okay?
No. If you wish, we could stop the wagon and I could go investigate.
I mean, it's kind of muddy down there.
So, do you want me to look into it, or are we just gonna drive on by?
I mean, if you don't think it's a problem, then I guess we just drive on by.
I don't know. I suppose we can see.
Bazar will pull the cart up.
Esme will just take one of the knives that she's found lying around in the wagon somewhere that belongs to Bazar and just kind of flip it at the body to see if it moves.
The body does not move.
Bazar, he didn't seem to react to your knife.
Go get that right now.
No. It's muddy down there. No.
He will shove you off.
Just having a fight in the cart.
On the edge of a cliff.
Alright, well, they're arguing about knives. Lita's gonna hop out of the cart and go take a look at this body.
Do you know how much those fetch on the market?
No.
Well, neither do I, but I'm sure a good price.
She's like, this is a waste of time. I'm gonna go look at the dead person.
Break it, you buy it.
Didn't break it. See, it's right there on top of him. Dodger on the other side. Esme's like 4'10" to your 6+ feet, so. Besides, if I could have afforded a knife, I would have thrown my own.
Well, you sure as hell can afford it now, because you're buying that. You're the one who used it.
Lita's gonna, if anyone is looking over, be prying what looks like a cloth bundle out of the hand of, you assume, a corpse, and not just that she's, stealing someone who passed out over a rock. She'll walk back to the cart with it anyway.
And give me an awareness roll.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'd say 3's under 14. No, we're not, probably.
You're all gonna die.
That is the end of the message, I
Yeah,
received.
I figured.
As she's returning to the cart with whatever object the other two were too busy arguing to see her retrieve. She stops and looks towards the cliff face and seems to realize something. And then she's going to quicken her pace back to the cart and, interrupting whatever knife argument is going on still, because this is a little bit more important. Goblins. Wargs.
Yes,
There.
the guild will be hearing about this.
Hey! Not the time.
We're having an argument here.
Not anymore, you're not. We're about to have a fight.
We're already fighting.
Fight what? Goblins?
Weapons, have them, take them out now.
I don't have any weapons.
Fine. She is drawing a bow.
And 2 arrows, short and black, flash by. One ricochets off a metal chest. The other one impacts into its side. It is initiative. Hunter goes first. 3 goblins have come over the south of the map. They are armed with bows and short, light spears that do not look good for throwing. You can see the arrows that they are carrying in their short quivers look similar to the one that was in the dead guy.
She will look to the others and say, poison arrows. And then she's going to try and shoot one of the goblins with her own bow. 2. And Lita, who was the first to notice the oncoming goblins, is also the first to act and will quickly draw her bowstring and let loose an arrow that strikes one of the goblins in the chest. So that's going to be a 6 total. And it makes, in her mind at least, to others it might not be so, a rather satisfying thunking sound as the arrow pierces into the goblin's chest, and the goblin collapses to the ground. And she feels fairly satisfied that that one is no longer going to be a threat.
The remaining 2 goblins draw their bows back, and 2 arrows flash towards the hunter, which they have now deemed, with the death of their associate, rather than friend, the biggest problem.
Yeah, they're not wrong. She is very aware of the placement of these goblins currently. Knowing what she knows, or at least believes, about the arrows that they are using from the body that she saw, she is doing her best to stay out of the line of fire. And so she basically, after shooting her own arrow, ducked back a little and got into a position where it's just hard to hit her. And they tried, but the arrows just hit the ground instead. Oh no!
Hey, a critical success, guy.
A demon.
Actually.
Uh-oh.
He's not really a fighter. He's a merchant. And he's not the best horse rider. Well, yeah, I guess horse rider. So as he's trying to get off the carriage, he gets caught in his... Is it spurts? Is that what they are? Foot gets caught in the stirrups, and he just kind of falls to the ground. So there is a pile of woodkin. Or wolfkin.
Esme is watching what's going on, and this is the first time she's actually ever been this close to... Well, I mean, there was brawling and stuff, I suppose, but not quite the same, and certainly not anybody yelling about poison arrows. So she's been kind of crouched behind some of the crates, and she's got her sling out, and she watches Bazar lunge forward and disappear from view, probably sneaking around and going around behind them. She calls out, "Bazar, get your dagger while you're down there." And then she kind of stands up and tries to use her sling. She's done this a few times. She practiced at the target thing. Almost hit the target once. So she knows the theory of this anyways. Puts a little stone in it and swings it around and lets fly in hopes that she can hit the goblin. Oh my god, she did. I rolled a 4. I have a 7. All right, so she gets 6 points of damage. She winds up. She remembers what the fellow in the shop said. Extend the arm, let it fly, let it slip through your fingers at the last moment and towards where you're aiming. Oh my God, I got him! I got him! She's jumping up and down on the wagon. She's so happy. She caught him right in the throat.
North of the body, at the bend, a growl comes as a large warg with rider comes around the corner. He is wearing studded leather helm and a rusty but metal breastplate. He looks slightly larger than the other goblins, but still a goblin, and certainly meaner. He spurs the warg forward, and it comes charging forward, and it will try to grab the hunter with its sharp maw.
Yeah, no, that's just not evaded.
The teeth of the warg clamp down on you, and it thrashes back and forth. It does 10 points of damage and tosses you to the ground, where you, being agile though, can roll with it. Koro leaps to her feet, a crossbow held in her trembling hands. She steps to steady herself on the side of the cart, and misses. She tumbles out of the cart to crash upon the ground. The crossbow goes off. The bolt drifts Leader's hair as if on a breeze, before ending both its journey and the goblin's life by embedding itself in his chest.
Oh. She's gonna grab the dagger that she has in a small sheath on her side, and she's going to try and stab the warg with it, because it just bit her, and she didn't really like that. And also, well, firstly, she's gonna try and stab it, and she got a dragon.
Nice.
I'm trying to take out this warg, because it bit me a lot, and I don't like it. Okay, so 12. Lita, after having been bitten and thrown to the ground by the warg, and realizing that her previous attack method of with a bow from a distance is not really going to work here, has drawn her dagger and lunges forwards towards the warg, basically trying to plunge the blade into its stomach, underneath it more she wants to get, where its teeth can't reach her quite as easily. And she can tell, based on her experience having, well, hunted a lot of creatures, that it is badly off, but it isn't done. She thinks even with this wound, were it to just, for whatever reason, flee, it would still probably die after a while, but it is not currently done.
He will, a little bit ashamed, pick himself up and go try to assist and stab the wog. He is now next to the wog, kind of sawing at it with this knife, and it's really not doing anything. It looks very awkward on both ends. The wog's a little bit confused of what's happening, but just kind of overall uncomfortable for everybody.
Esme sees everyone engaging this large wolf kind of creature that just kind of shook Lita like a rag doll and let her go. She's gonna get her sling going again as she steps forward a little bit more on the buckboard, careful not to slip in the same spot that Koro did, and tries to help out against this warg. This one, however, does not. This one flies over both the warg and the goblin, and she's kind of got a little confused look on her face because she was looking at where it should hit, and it still hasn't hit. She watches it for a moment longer and then kind of tries to just frown. And
the warg howls in pain and anger. Everyone make a fear check.
I did.
I sure did.
The result is a 3. Panting, the intense fear leaves me out of breath, making me exhausted. So the wolf howls, and Esme's eyes go wide and almost kind of silently screams, expelling all the breath in her, and then realizes she wasted her entire air supply and starts panting, trying to get it back in, and feels like she's suffocating, and at the same time is staring at this warg with its big red eyes. And it's just a very tiring experience.
Having previously plunged the dagger into the warg and withdrawn it, sensing that it was very nearly dispatched, she repeats the motion, and as she withdraws it for a second time, the creature lets out a very unpleasant sound. Not quite like the roaring one it did before. It almost sounds pitiful in a way. She sort of wants to feel a little bit bad for it, but it did bite her. So when it ends up collapsing to the ground, she doesn't feel all bad.
The Goblin Rider rolls off the now dead mount.
He will try to stab the Goblin Rider.
There's much
Emphasis on the
stabbing.
try. He'll do it. He'll finally do it. It's very clumsy, but he'll do a wide slash at the goblin, and it slashes his stomach.
So Esme is standing there, panting, fear gripping her, tightening up her whole body. She feels a wave of like exhaustion pass over her, but she still tries to use another rock in her sling and let fly at this goblin in this battered breastplate as he starts squaring off with the others, but misses, and the stone thunks instead into the ground behind him.
And the goblin whips out a nasty, rusty scimitar. And in his left hand, he has his spear, which he was possibly able to use from his mount. He throws it, as he does not just want to drop it. It is not a brilliant weapon for throwing, and he did roll with a bane. And he got a 1 and a 2. So it does indeed is on target to hit Kelly. If you would like to evade, you may try.
Esme, who has just missed with her stone, sees that this weapon, almost as if in slow motion, is being lofted at her. And she just kind of panics a moment, steps back, and ends up landing flat on her ass as the weapon goes sailing over her head.
And Koro is loading her hand crossbow. Top of the order, Hunter.
She is going to sort of try and lunge towards the rider, or previous rider of the warg, because the warg is no more and cannot be ridden. But she is going to slip in the mud that Esme was complaining so much about, and because of that, her swing will go a little wide, and she's not going to hit her target.
And do it.
Nice.
Bazar will grab the goblin's throat and stab his knife through the jaw of it, and then just toss it to the side.
The area falls quiet.
Oh my God, Lita, you're bleeding horribly. Here, hang on. And Esme will get up where she was sitting on her butt and go grab her pack and pull out her bandages and move forward to see if she can get Lita to come up on the wagon so she can bandage her and she can rest for a period of time.
Yep, she'll hop up and allow that. Her shoulder is bleeding quite a bit.
Yeah, if nothing else, Esme will get down after she's tended to you and make sure that you're okay, hands you some water, tells you not to move around for a few minutes, and then carefully, trying to avoid as much muck and blood as possible, she'll help Bazar gather up some of that weapons and stuff. Because we hate to see it go to waste. And then if there's any more time left while they're resting and recovering, she wants to do a sketch of that warg and some of the goblins.
Lita has fully recovered her hit points based on that.
Nice.
And she's going to open up the cloth bundle that she was trying to investigate before goblins showed up.
In the Dead Man's Bundle is a map of Misty Vale and a statuette piece. It is of a pedestal including lower legs and part of a sword. The man has on his arm, or upper, like above his wrist, a dark tattoo.
Hey, that guy was a cultist. Look at this tattoo. I remember them telling me in the city that the cultists were on the rise. I think, like, demon worshippers? There was some talk, like, the census I'm supposed to be doing. There was some talk that maybe the increase in monsters had some kind of connection with the cultists. But I haven't obviously figured any of that out. Though it's very interesting, don't you think, that he is heading to the Misty Vale too?
Maybe.
Bazar, do you think we could like sell these other items, like those it's a pretty rusty scimitar and stuff, and the bows? Do you think we could sell those and make money too?
There's a buy for everything, and a little bit of a twist of the words. It's an antique.
I'm sure it was to somebody.
Sure, let's go collect them. I suppose in the 15 minutes, Bazar will go collect nicks and knacks from dead body.
Lita, do you think that pelt of that warg would be worth anything?
I don't know. It would be warm. It would certainly need to be washed.
Well, and skinned, because you have to get it off the warg first.
Yes.
She seems surprisingly entrepreneurial with this stuff, more than you might have thought. But if you ever ask her why, it's because her high maintenance requires money. So
If people want her to, Lita will skin the warg. It will take her some time, however.
Esme's not a hunter, so she's really not sure if it's actually worth it or not. So she just figured that that's your stock in trade. So, and you did kill it. So did you kill it or did Bazar kill it?
I killed it. He killed the guy that was riding it.
And then after she's all done, Esme curls up and has a nap.
After a couple of days' march, the path begins its way down and eventually enters the valley. Slowly, the remnants of a stone road begins through the forest, and as the forest ends, it is not long before the start of the town's grain fields. Ahead in the distance, a town can be seen. Smoke rises from several chimneys, and while the town is not large, it does appear to be successful. Frontier towns are functional, as life there can be difficult, and they have little leeway in terms of supplies and stock when things go wrong. The towns rarely have frivolities and focus on things that are important and needed. This is the town of Outskirt, and it is no different. Although the wars are over, there does remain various tribes of dangerous creatures, and some monsters are still in the region. The wall, for want of a better word, are sharpened logs and will deter some creatures, but would indeed fail to offer any half-decent protection against a real attack. You can see the gates that lead are open, and they lead into town between two round, two-story towers.
Lita's not really in her element in towns, so she's just letting other people take the lead.
Bazar will bring the cart to wherever looks like a decent place to stop, where they won't be in anybody's way or traffic.
And Esme will ask Koro if there's a place that's supposed to be the guild headquarters that we should be going.
I don't know yet. I assume so. Yes?
Bazar will go where he's told.
Yeah.
Well, usually there's inns and stuff by the gates, right? That's what they say in the stories or tales that I've heard from adventure. So look around. Let's go. Number one's a palisade. So let's go check out what's 7 and go down that road, I guess. Left.
You head westwards roughly around town. As you approach, you see people, townsfolk, are not hostile, but they're definitely looking at you warily. A large windmill is at the edge of the village, and you can see that it is connected to a log house. There is chickens and pigs in the yard. The smell of bread and pies drift towards you from it. It does look to be the mill. The road splits and leads into a area where the town well is, and stairs lead up into an area that's not quite the top of the hill, but is definitely a higher area. You can hear from that higher area the sound of a smithy, and every now and again the smell of cooked food wafts on the air.
Just ask someone, is there like an old guild hall that's empty here in town? Barring that, do you have an inn?
The inn's and he points. It's up the top there, near the other entrance. The Three Stags, we call it.
How about an empty guild hall? Or do you have a guild hall?
We do not.
We have a guild master in search of a guild hall. Who should we talk to? Is there a mayor?
Vaghild might know. She is the owner of the tavern.
All roads lead to a tavern. All right. That away, Bazaar.
Czar will take us that away.
The village square. This small open area used for outdoor gatherings connects to the inn, the smithy, and what looks to be a general store. In the centre is an old weathered statue of an armoured human warrior.
Bazaar, do you think the smithy would buy the old equipment there? The antiques?
They might. Can melt it down for metal, make better swords, or polish them up.
I assume you'd know better than me. Did you want to go check that out, and we'll go check out the inn?
Sounds like a plan.
Koro, did you have anything otherwise, or should we just go talk to the tavern owner and see what they know?
I'm not sure, but maybe the tavern owner?
Just look at Koro for a moment and into the inn.
A two-storey building with a neat thatched roof and half-timbered walls dominates the square. A sign saying the Three Stags, and you can hear cheery voices from within, shows this to be the local inn. The common room is smaller than common rooms in most cities. It is, however, a decent size still, and has a mix of tables and chairs with a fire burning in the fireplace. A middle-aged woman moves around the inn like the owner. A couple of waitresses are serving locals, and stairs lead up to what you assume is rooms above.
Esme steps a little bit into the inn, flips back her hood, and luxuriates in the smell of food cooking, warmth, and just being back in civilization after so long, and soaks up all the attention that she is no doubt getting having stepped in the front door.
And the woman is taking some glasses or mugs of mead over to a table, and she rubs her hands on her apron, which is a leather apron, once she's done that. What can I get you, loves?
I think supper would be good. But also, we need some information. We have the new guildmaster here, point to Koro, and we need to know where the guild hall will be.
I can get you some food, not a problem. You'll want to talk to the librarian.
Ah, librarian.
We have bread, vegetables, soup.
Yes, please. Pies? Pastries?
Meat, and we also have some peach.
Ooh, yes, please.
And she hurries off to the kitchen.
And Esme will just throw herself into the meal. Oh, you have to try the peach pie.
All right.
Esme's not doing anything else until she eats her fill. It is not her job to get the guild hall up and going, so she figures her job here is kind of done until it's time to go
Yeah.
talk to a librarian.
That's true.
The smithy, a large log building with an open front. A decent-sized forge can be seen. Weapons and armour, as well as general tools, can be found here. None of them of extreme high quality. They are functional and workable, however. And 2 dwarves are hammering a shield, a male and female, who both share a family resemblance. And how can I help you?
Are you in the market of purchasing fine weaponry?
And he dusts his hands off, and he turns and looks at you. Well, it depends what you mean by fine weaponry.
If there's a place to put it, he will put, I suppose, the armor and the swords up. They're rolled in like a leather mat, I guess. They're a bit of an antique, but the quality is unmatched.
Oh, smells like goblin. Not much use as they are, they'll have to be melted down. I can give you 6 silver.
I mean, I'm parting with these family heirlooms here. 7?
Your family was goblins.
Adopted.
Give me a negotiation roll of some description here.
2.
Yeah, alright, 7.
And Bazar will go to shake his hand.
And he shakes it, and it's definitely the hand of a blacksmith.
I am glad we could do business, my friend.
And he nods gruffly in the way of the dwarves.
Bazar will leave.
And he will turn to his sister. A cold. Melt these down, try to burn the stench out of it. And you can easily see which is the inn. It's just across from the smithy. And a few minutes later, a wolfkin enters. Which is bizarre.
Yep.
Quite Bazar.
Wave him over. Shove half the peach pie in his direction.
And he will dig.
Did you have any luck selling the stuff?
7 silver.
Ooh, nice. Good job.
Bazar will dig into this peach pie.
Very good. Definitely homemade.
So selling that stuff probably just paid for our meal tonight. Oh, their stew is really good too.
Lita is still feeding small bits of food to her crow.
Did Vaganild mention who the librarian was? Well, once everybody's had their fill, I guess we need to get rooms anyways if we're staying the night. And then we could maybe just walk over to the... Like, take the stairs down and go talk to the librarian?
Bazar will pay.
Vaghild is very happy to be receiving coin.
How much to stay the night?
I can put you up, but if you are taking over the guild, you might be able to stay there. You wouldn't have to pay anything then, though I can't say anything to the state of the building.
Good to know. Well, does the librarian have a name?
No, I'm sure she does, but we just call her the librarian.
All right. Well, let's go find about the inn then. Or find about the guild.
Yes.
You don't like to stay indoors, do you, Lita?
No, I will not sleep in the inn.
What if the guild house had a nice roof? Well, I mean, it's just a shame to have to go all the way outside the city to just camp out. So if the new guild place has a roof, maybe we can just stay there.
A roof? I don't... You sleep where you wish. I will be sleeping outside.
Yes, that's what I assume. It might have a nice garden up there. Who knows? We'll walk to the library.
The finest building looks almost new. Stone, wood, and stained glass. Within are rows of very neat bookshelves with every one filled with books. Nothing is out of place. and not a speck of dust is anywhere. Behind the counter is a woman towards her mid-20s. Her hair is neat and above her shoulders. It looks black, but when the candlelight touches it, there is a flash of purple. She has roundish reading glasses perched on her nose, and her eyes have a slightly unnerving, piercing quality to them. She is dressed in a blouse, vest, and cravat, a mix of purple and white. And she slithers from behind the counter to stop before you, and her snake-like lower half would easily be 10 foot long. How may I be of assistance?
Push Coro forward.
Hello, yes, and she bows. Koro. And the woman looks at her. Me, I'm Koro, not you. You're not Koro, I'm Koro. Guild. I'm Guild. I'm from the Guild. Taking over for the Guild. Well, not from the Guild, because I am the Guild. You're opening a guild. I'm opening the guild. They said you had a place. And the Naga is looking at her with, like, you can't be serious. And she slithers over and takes a large gold key off the shelf. And she points to a building down below. That is the old guild hall. As one would expect, it has not been maintained for some time. Records show it is still owed to you. And she hands out the key. It is now yours.
Congratulations, Coro. What are you going to do with it?
I haven't thought that far ahead yet. I suppose, look at it? And she shakes her head. And she bows several times to you. No, I'm sorry. I meant the building.
Look out one of the windows. Is it obvious which one it's supposed to be?
It does not look in great shape, but it also does not look like Hartus Ravani Lunda has deliberately chosen the worst building in town and gone, haha, it's yours. If she is a stickler to the rules and information and everything as she appears, the building itself would be the correct one that just has not been looked after because there has not been a guild here for some time. Enough to have been an old town hall. Possibly an original one.
Excuse me, Mistress Librarian.
And she turns and looks at you.
Would you have any records of the old guild?
I may have. What is it that you are looking for specifically?
Oh, I'm just interested in all of it. I mean, if we're helping to get the new guild up and going, it'd be nice to know what happened to the old guild, who was maybe in charge of it, what they've done, what they were known for, just because, again, that might dictate some of what will be coming ahead.
I will see what I can find.
Thank you. Should we go look at this place then, Coro? Guess our job's not done till we finish escorting you there.
Yes. And she starts walking out, then she says, thank you, and bows hurriedly several times before turning and walking out the door.
I think they wanted to get rid of her more than they wanted to get rid of me. Oh well. Let's go check out the new digs.
The building was clearly a meeting place of old. It is run down, has ivy growing across its walls, and a wooden sign so stained and faded its original name cannot be read, and it hangs sadly on 2 rusted chains. Above its shingled roof has pieces missing, and the remaining are weathered with age. Several windows are cracked or boarded up. Outside is a small pond, now dry, with an old stone dragon fountain. The interior is very quiet, as the sounds from without struggle to get within. Tables lay broken, and banners are tattered. A large fireplace sits cold and dark. Some of the stone walls are cracked. The wooden beams appear strong, but everything is covered in dust and cobwebs. What might have been a quest board is now nothing but tattered papers. A room off the hall may have once been a library. Old, sometimes broken bookshelves sit in the room. No books remain. Behind the main desk is a meeting room and an administration area. Above, the stairs lead to the second floor, which has several rooms that might have been storage, medical, and accommodation. Koro looks around, takes a deep breath, and to everyone's panic, lets out a big blow as she tries to clean the dust off the table. And we end tonight's episode in a massive dust cloud within.
Perfect.